I'm back.
We are back, baby.
After my enlightenment and realization with The Rise of Skywalker of how incredibly terrible it is,
Somehow Palpatine returned.
I thought to myself, maybe The Last Jedi is the same. Maybe I should give it a second chance. Maybe it's also a great bad movie and not just the heaping pile of cow manure I remember it to be.
That is one big pile of shit.
So this past Sunday, I sat down, threw on the telly, and watched all 2 hours and 32 minutes of it. 2 hours and 42 minutes if you count the ads, because I'm not paying that much money for Disney Plus without ads. Let's be serious here. And after I completed my mission, I can say with full confidence that I was wrong. It's not as bad as I remember it to be. It's actually way worse, infuriatingly bad, actually. It's so terrible that I compiled a small list of why I would rather bleach my eyes instead of watch The Last Jedi ever again. And I'm happy to share with you now. Let's get into it. We're going to have to talk about it eventually, so let's just get it out of the way at the beginning. What have they done to my boy Luke Skywalker? They massacred my boy.
This is my boy!
I will forever despise Rian Johnson because of what he did to my hero Luke Skywalker in this film. As a reminder, this is the first time we see Luke Skywalker in the new sequel trilogy, and what do we get? Luke throwing his lightsaber into the water and then milking an alien.
Really?
You remember the Luke Skywalker that never gave up and always saw the good in people? An example. When his father tried to turn him to the dark side and then told him multiple times, "It's too late for me." But Luke still had faith and believed that there was good in him. Yeah, that's actually gone out the window. What do you mean, you may ask? Well, he attempts to kill Ben Solo, his Padawan, and also his nephew, and also his best friend's son, and also his sister's son, because he saw the dark side in him. That just makes no sense at all. I understand as characters progress, they gradually change, and it would be weird if Luke had no character development at all. But for his entire personality and all his morals to do a 360 in the space of 2 movies just does not make sense at all. Forfeiting the Jedi religion and destroying all the sacred Jedi texts? Ryan, bro, what kind of Johnson are you smoking? You're telling me Luke suddenly lost hope in the Jedi religion and decided to burn everything he has helped to keep alive and fight for because of what exactly? I mean, dude, if I was Ben Solo, I'd turn to the dark side too. This Luke Skywalker, this new Luke Skywalker is just certified cheeks. This man pulls up to confront Kylo, and I would think he would try to apologize or turn him back to the light. Nah, he just pulls up to stun on him, Halo teabags him, and then disappears. Hashtag not my Luke. But we move on to the next issue with this dumpster fire of a film. Since we're already talking about characters, I'm sorry, but who the hell is Vice Admiral Holdo? And why is she even in this film?
Why? 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 Why?
If I had the choice between getting dinner with Vice Admiral Holdo or staring at a brick wall for 12 hours, I would pick the wall. I don't really understand the objective of her character besides just sunning Poe every chance she gets,
Not commander, right? Wasn't it Leia's last official act to demote you?
along with being the most unlikable person in the entire galaxy. Why does she not tell Poe, or anyone, her plan to escape the First Order ship? Who knows? It's not like the entire resistance relies on it. We have never heard or seen of this chick before until this movie, and Rian Johnson just expects us to trust her and act like this is a normal thing any high commanding officer in the military would do. Her entire purpose in the movie is to gaslight Poe so Poe can get mad, so Finn and Rose can go to Space Monaco and ride Space Horse alpacas for no reason at all, and then we, the audience, can question our sanity. Don't even get me started on her master plan, but we'll get to that. Trust me, believe me. In fact, let's just talk about it right now. Ryan, oh Ryan, what was going through your sweet little brain when you wrote this part? I bet it was something along the lines of, "This is gonna be so cool. Everyone is gonna freak out when they see this super cinematic scene. Nobody's even gonna think about if it breaks the Star Wars universe." Wrong. I'm not letting this slide. You can't get away with this one. You can't. This is not just some new form of technology that impacts the Star Wars universe for future movies and events. This is something that discredits and destroys the entire plot of A New Hope and every single movie before and after that. What I'm talking about, obviously, is when General Holdo uses the trademarked Holdo maneuver, which I guess is a 1 in a million shot, but we won't talk about that. This is when she turns the starship around when the rest of the resistance is escaping, points the ship right at the First Order, and hits Lightspeed into all of them, destroying their entire fleet.
Right.
It's just so incredibly dumb and just destroys and breaks so many rules in the Star Wars universe. In the fourth movie, the rebels aren't stupid. You don't think they would have thought about kamikazing the Death Star? I mean, 100% they did. I mean, they're up against a small moon that can blow up entire planets. They must have come to the conclusion that it wasn't physically possible, for which all intents and purposes eliminates this as a possibility in the Star Wars universe. If spaceships can be used as lightspeed missiles, why hasn't this been done before? In The Phantom Menace, why didn't they just strap Jar Jar Binks to a cruiser and lightspeed his ass into the Trade Federation? Like, why not? This single-handedly opens Padme's box of logical problems in the Star Wars universe, undermining decades of established military strategy. And for that alone, I do not deem this movie canon. I refuse to. I do not believe it. I'd Holdo maneuver this entire movie out of existence if I could, but I can't. We move, though. We move on. Let's talk about the overarching problem with this film that is somehow in the Star Wars universe and has managed to be attached to our beloved Star Wars franchise. The premise of the entire movie. The whole plot hinges on the remaining Rebel fleet and the First Order in a spaceship stalemate, where the Resistance is trying to escape after their World War II space bombing run fails, and the First Order is trying to catch up to them, but they're only able to go, in a shocking turn of events, hear me out, wait a minute, the exact same speed, resulting in a space stalemate.
This is bad.
Why doesn't the Resistance just jump to lightspeed, you ask? Well, they tried that, but I guess the First Order can now track people through lightspeed, so they're unable to complete your request. Sorry. Oh, so they're screwed then, you say? Yes, but not exactly, because they are currently out of range of the First Order's long-range cannons. Wait, so the First Order has to be faster than the Resistance and can just catch up to them, right? I mean, if they can track them through hyperspace, they can totally just catch up to the Rebels, right? Wrong. They can only go the exact same speed as the Resistance, so they are just floating in space, going the exact same speed the entire movie. Wait a minute, you may ask. What if the First Order sends all of their TIE fighters out there to slow them down? Isn't the Resistance outnumbered like 15 to 1? Nah. But why? Just trust. Okay. If this is the last of the Resistance and the First Order basically has them trapped in space, why don't they just call for another Star Destroyer and have it appear in front of the Resistance and hit them from both sides? No idea. Don't know. So what is the First Order's plan then? Hear me out. This is what it is. Wait them out until they are out of fuel and just keep shooting them to remind them we are still here.
Really?
Bro, I'm pretty sure they know you guys are still here. You're in a massive Star Destroyer and are the sole reason they are trying to escape. I cannot believe this is the main plot point of the film, and the entire film hinges on this. It's so stupid. Rian Johnson, you suck. On to the next. I will now draw my attention to the beginning of the movie, right from the get-go. The space bombing scene to open the movie. What the hell is even that? I swear my IQ just took a massive drop during that entire sequence. Why does the Resistance have space bombers? You're in space.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
Why are you dropping bombs in space? Why are they flying towards the Dreadnought in close combat with literally no shields and zero backup plan? Why are they moving in slow motion? They are moving so slow. I can get past the really stupid bombs, but just the sheer lack of competence from the First Order. I mean, they're moving maybe 5 miles an hour. One of them just gets hit by a rogue TIE fighter wing and just explodes. And the other three self-destruct, probably because their pilots accidentally sat on the remote. That's how dumb these resistance fighters are. So now there's one left. It is the only ship in a 40-meter radius. Even the commander random guy, is like, take this final bomber down. And just no one takes it down. It's just chilling. The ending scene where Rose's sister, we'll just call her Daisy, where Daisy is kicking the 1940 style detonator to drop, and then she clicks it and they just slowly fall down like the Star Destroyer has its own gravity, is just ridiculous. Let's move on to now my final complaint I'd like to share with you guys. Although there are many more complaints I would like to talk about, I do not want to waste your guys' time, and I do not have the time to make a 2-hour long video. So let's talk about this ending. So you're telling me the entire plan of the Resistance and only hope to escape is to flee on escape pods from their ship, where they were cornered and trapped in by the First Order, to a base on a planet that appears to be Hoth. Salt planet, in which they are also cornered in by the First Order. So what's their plan after that? Hold up until backup arrives? Alright. What's with this wannabe Avatar The Last Airbender drill that the First Order just spawns in to open the doors? Bro, this is not Lord of the Rings. You don't need a battering ram to break into a minimally fortified rebellion holdout. We're in space, dude. You got things that can go to hyperspace. And you're bringing a battering ram? They're in a mountain with steel doors. Just blow that shit up with a blast from one of their Star Destroyers. Boom, they're all dead. Or, as we learned before, just send one TIE fighter through the planet and they're also all dead. A mini space battering ram with Death Star technology that takes 15 years to load?
You serious?
It's egregiously obvious that it's just there as a way to create a countdown timer and build tension. So the Resistance is trapped again by the First Order. Not surprising. Nothing's changed. What is their master scheme to get them out of this bind? Send a bunch of random guys in broken down speeders to try and stop the battering ram. They got like 20 AT-ATs in there. There is no shot these soldiers and a bunch of antique speeders have a shot of taking down even one AT-AT. So it's basically a suicide mission to buy time, essentially. But then Poe decides, nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to die today. So then everyone retreats. Wow, surprising. What's up with Finn's quote-unquote sacrifice? His plan was just to drive straight into the center of the battering ram and blow it up. You're telling me nobody in any of the 20 AT-ATs sees this dude trying to run straight into their battering ram. Come on. And then out of nowhere, Rose comes in and tries to save Finn by running into him at full speed. Finn questions why Rose would do that. Finn was about to blow up the battering ram, and Rose just comes in from the top rope and hits him. Rose responds with,
So we're gonna win. Not fighting what we hate. Saving what we love.
that's great, but you just allowed the First Order to blow a massive hole into the base, which surely will obliterate everyone else in there. Also, girl, you could have killed Finn by ramming into him at like 80 miles an hour. In total, the ending scene, I mean, I'm not even gonna get into Rey just somehow being able to levitate 1,000 rocks and being the strongest Jedi I've ever seen. And Kylo, that could be an entirely different video in itself, which if you guys want, I will provide, but not trying to make this video 45 minutes long. In the end, after my rewatch of this so-called Star Wars movie, if you would even say it is, I now remember why I left the theater extremely frustrated and disappointed. Although the movie has some great cinematography and visual effects, which I will not discredit, it is a visually stunning movie. The film really missed a mark when it comes to being a Star Wars film. Rian Johnson built a story with Star Wars characters, planets, and themes, but did not adhere to the universe the Star Wars franchise is grounded in. You can tell Rian Johnson was never a real Star Wars fan, and maybe that's the issue. He most likely creamed his pants at the idea of getting the opportunity to write and direct his own Star Wars movie, because who wouldn't? And instead of respecting and understanding the lore, the universe, and the history of the franchise, it seems like he just read a synopsis of the previous two trilogies, took a couple ideas and characters from them, and slapped them into his idea of a Star Wars film without any consideration of how it'll affect the universe that's already been cultivated. It is unfortunate because I think Rian Johnson is a good director. However, his attempt at a Star Wars movie is just a massive middle finger to every Star Wars fan in the galaxy, and I recommend to everybody never watch this movie ever again, unless you enjoy it, which is okay. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, let me know what you think. Am I a clown? Am I wrong? Am I right? Were my takes valid? Were they not? Let me know. If you guys like, make sure to like and subscribe. And remember, that's not how we're going to win. Not fighting what we hate, but saving what we love. So find your favorite Star Wars movie. That's not the sequels. And give it a long, long hold and hug. See you guys next time.